What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Miles Dawkins 24/7 production. Today we have NCAA pre-game presentation through the years. We're going to look at the whole series from NCAA 98 all the way up to NCAA 14 on the Xbox 360. Now, my favorites are on the PS2. I think that the pre-game presentation is the best on the PS2 from NCAA 02 all the way up to NCAA 07. And, of course, they continue to make the NCAA franchise until NCAA 11 or 12, I believe. But let me know which years or which games you felt had the best pre-game presentation. And of course, we're going to have more player through the years coming later on in the week. Hope to see you guys there. Hope the rest of your day is the best of your day. Peace! House sauce!
Welcome to Athens, Georgia, for today's game between the rival Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and the Georgia Bulldogs. Welcome to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, for today's game between the South Carolina Gamecocks and the LSU Tigers. Welcome to Madison, Wisconsin, for today's game between the rival Minnesota Golden Gophers and the Wisconsin Badgers. Welcome to Blacksburg, Virginia, for today's game between the Syracuse Orangemen and the Virginia Tech Hokies.
In the heart of Norman, Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, with a crowd of anxious fans hosting this football game. And the weather is absolutely gorgeous for today's game between the Nebraska Cornhuskers and the Oklahoma Sooners. I'm Brad Nessler, joined in the booth as always by Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit. You ready for a rivalry matchup? As always, when these two teams get together, they just don't play to win, they play to destroy each other. If you compare these teams, they look to be pretty equal. Should be a close game, right, Coach?
Well, Brad, Nebraska has a great opportunity to move the football against this defense. How? Through the air, my friend. I think they've got some good, talented receivers and a quarterback that can get them the football. The only question in my mind is whether or not that offensive line can give them enough time to step up and throw. I think they can, they will, and that will be the reason why they win this football game, my friend. That's the reason.
Did you hear that, Brad? Lee Corso predicting the upset. Well, you're not going to hear me say that. Oklahoma is just too good all around. They would really have to beat themselves in this one. I mean, look at the players they've got. At wide receiver, for example, this guy could start for a lot of pro teams. Brad, with talent like that, along with excellent coaching, I don't see any chance of an upset.
Thanks, Kirk and Lee. Well, the team captains look like they're ready for the coin toss, so we'll send it down to the field. Knoxville, Tennessee, near the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, playing host to this college football battle. And I hope these fans are as bundled up as I am for today's matchup between the LSU Tigers and the Volunteers of Tennessee. Here come the Volunteers. Welcome, everyone. Brad Nessler here for EA Sports with my co-host Kirk Herbstreit and the coach, Lee Corso. We hope you're as excited as we are for this one. The Tigers don't seem to match up too well in this one. Kirk, I'm not sure I like their chances very much.
Well, I think you're right about that, and I'll tell you why. LSU is going to have a tough time defending this rushing attack and this running back. It's very important that they shut him down and keep the ball out of his hands if they expect to have a chance in this game.
I agree with you, and I'm going to tell you why. Tennessee loves to run the football, and then that's how they win ball games. I think they're going to have a big game on the ground today. And Kirk, I agree with you. I think they win this one, no problem.
Thanks, guys. Let's head down to the field. The two teams are lined up for the coin toss. Here in Miami, just a little ways from the beaches of Florida's Gold Coast, this football contest takes place. And it's going to be a scorcher out here for today's game between the Florida State Seminoles and the Hurricanes of Miami. And here come the Hurricanes. everybody, I'm Brad Nessler, and with me is Kirk Herbstreit and Lee Corso, and what a great one we've got brewing for you today. It's time for the annual battle between the Canes and the Noles. The Hurricanes are very confident coming into this one. They are definitely the favorites in my book, Kirk.
Well, I think you're right about that, and I'll tell you why. Miami has one of the better running attacks in college football and a very good running back. Lee, this will be a great opportunity here for fans to get a chance to see him run the football and lead his team to a victory.
And another thing, Miami is going to run through, around, and over this defense, Kirk. I'm interested in seeing how many rushing yards are going to roll up in this one.
Thanks, guys. Should be an exciting game. Now let's get down to midfield where they're ready for the coin toss. South Bend, Indiana, and Notre Dame Stadium is the site for this one. We've got some cold weather, so get your blood pumping for tonight's game between the USC Trojans and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And here comes the Fighting Irish. Hi, everybody. Brad Nessler here. With me, as usual, Kirk Herbstreit and the coach, Lee Corso. They've been battling since 1926. And at stake today, the Jeweled Shillelagh, the Gaelic War Club. The Fighting Irish look like they're going to get killed out there. What do you think? The same thing, Kirk?
Well, I think you're right. I think this one's going to be a blowout. USC is lucky to have such a force at defensive end. Offense is game planned around him, and I wouldn't expect to see many runs to his side. The rest of the defense is just as good, and they'll dominate in this game.
Yep, no question, Kirk. Notre Dame is going to have a hard time moving the ball against this attacking defense. I'd be surprised if they scored one touchdown in this game. They're going to lose this one big.
We're hoping for a great game. Guys, let's get down on the field. The team captains are ready for the coin toss. Welcome, everyone. Brad Nessler here for EA Sports with my co-host Kirk Herbstreit and the coach, Lee Corso. No complaints about the weather tonight as we see nothing but stars in this contest between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan Wolverines. What a ride it's going to be as we have one of the biggest rivalries ever, not just in college football, but in all of sports. Here come the Wolverines. Neither team seems to have an advantage in this game. Kirk, how about your prediction?
Michigan is anchored up front by an outstanding defensive tackle. And what should be a close game, I have to go with the better defense, guys. And I think the big man is going to make some plays that'll make the difference.
Oh, Kirk. There's a chance I might even agree with you on this one. Michigan is going to manhandle them.
I just got to wonder, where do you get those things? Helmets, mascot heads? I mean, every game is something new. Greetings from EA Sports. I'm Brad Nessler, and alongside me are Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit. Even though the sun is set, the temperature hasn't decreased for tonight's game between the Oklahoma Sooners and the Texas Longhorns. And here come the Longhorns. If you compare these teams on paper, they really look to be pretty equal. Kirk, what do you think?
Oklahoma may not be the more talented team in this one, but they have a running back that can take a game over. Look for them to get back to the basics of running the football, mixing in the play action, and to do just enough to win this one.
There won't be any upsets today, Kirk. There's no way Texas loses this game. Pick them horns.
Okay, let's send it down to our head referee for today's game for the coin toss. Brought to you by Bobby Bowden Field at Doak Campbell Stadium is the venue for today's exciting college football game. And we couldn't have asked for better weather for today's game between the Florida State Seminoles and the Florida Gators. Hi, everybody. This is Brad Nessler, and with me, as always, Kirk Herbstreit and the coach, Lee Corso. You ready for a rivalry matchup? Well, as always, when these two teams get together, they just don't play to win. They play to destroy each other. Let's send it down to the field. It's played host to both a men's and a women's World Cup final, but today, it's the host for college football. And we couldn't have asked for better weather for today's game between the UCLA Bruins and the USC Trojans. Hey folks, Brad Nessler here with my co-host Kirk Herbstreit and Lee Corso. Today we have a great rivalry game, the annual battle for the victory bell.
UCLA has outstanding leadership on defense, and it all starts with this young man. He gets his teammates lined up and ready to play every down. And, Coach, he's got them ready to go for this one.
All right, we're ready to go. Let's take it to the coin toss. Provo, Utah, also known as Utah's Garden City, is the site for this college football matchup. We have partly cloudy skies and only a small chance of rain for today's game between the BYU Cougars and the San Diego State Aztecs. Hi, everybody. This is Brad Nessler, and with me, as always, Kirk Herbstreit and the coach, Lee Corso. And today should be a good one, so I hope you're as excited as we are for our matchup today.
San Diego State has been stressing all week that they need good play out of their defense, and most of the success will revolve around this linebacker. As the leader of this defense, he's looking to step up big today and really slow down this rushing attack of the offense.
We're in East Lansing, Michigan, at Spartan Stadium, and we hope you're ready as we've got a great matchup for you. There are a few clouds to cover the sun for today's game between the Michigan State Spartans and the Nittany Lions of Penn State. Brad Nessler here, and I'm joined today with the coach, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, and Aaron Andrews on the sidelines. Designed by a former MSU head coach, the Land Grant Trophy is on the line when these two schools go at it.
Michigan State will have to find a way to contain the ability of this kid at quarterback. It's safe to say that there might not be a better athlete on the field today, as this kid is good enough to beat the defense with his arm and his feet. Watch out, because I expect this quarterback to play extremely well today.
Everybody, I'm Brad Nessler, and I'm with Kirk Herbstreit here in the booth. And we're also joined by our sideline reporter, Aaron Andrews. Welcome to today's game, brought to you by EA Sports and ESPN. Our matchup is between the Auburn Tigers and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. We're in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Population 80,000, and you can bet that most of them are in the stadium today. It's time for the Iron Bowl. We're ready to bring you one of the most heated rivalries in all of college football. For Alabama, the biggest challenge they'll face is this terrific tailback.
I hope we get a chance to see some of the moves he's capable of, because he's as fun to watch as anybody.
Now we head to midfield for the coin toss, and remind you that today's game is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter. A newspaper columnist once wrote that this is where great teams go to die. Autzen Stadium, home of the Oregon Ducks, and it's one of the rowdiest settings in all of college football. Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler, and I'm joined by the former quarterback, Kirk Herbstreit, and we'll also hear from Aaron Andrews in a bit. And we'll be kicking off under the lights thanks to Lowe's. Let's build something together. We've got the Oregon State Beavers and the Oregon Ducks. And here come the Ducks. It's time for the Civil War. Get ready, football fans. This is one of the most bitter rivalries in all of college football. For Oregon, their attack begins with a terrific signal caller.
I'm sure he's aware that these aren't the best corners on earth, and he's ready to do some damage.
As kickoff approaches, let's send you down to midfield for the coin toss. It's presented by Lowe's. Let's build something together.
North Carolina State and Clemson are on the field. Kickoff is looming for the Wolfpack and the Tigers. This rivalry is important as these two square off in the Textile Bowl. Time for ESPN College Football, and we are expecting a dandy tonight. Brad Nessler and Kirk Herbstreit will be on the call.
Running down the hill is one of the many traditions that you'll see here at Clemson Memorial Stadium, the site of today's game. Hello, football fans. Brad Nessler here, along with Kirk Herbstreit in the booth and Aaron Andrews on the sidelines. Tonight's primetime matchup is brought to you by Spark, who reminds you that what you can measure, you can improve. And it's a matchup between the North Carolina State Wolfpack and the Clemson Tigers. And here come the Tigers. It's time for the annual Textile Bowl, a rivalry that dates back to 1899. Kickoff's just ahead, but first, let's head to midfield for the coin toss. It's brought to you by Spark, who reminds you that what you can measure, you can improve. This should be a great one. The folks from Ann Arbor going against their bitter rivals from Columbus. And now let's head down to the coin toss. It's brought to you by Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste and 0 calories. Enjoy everything.